What's going on, y'all? So here we have another pony page right here. This guy says PlayStation 5 Pro is the best PlayStation console ever made. Oh boy, it's a bold statement. It keeps blowing me away. Now, we all know that this is not the best PlayStation console ever made. Is it the most up-to-date and most powerful? Yeah, because that's just the way technology works. But saying it's the best, no, it didn't launch with a whole bunch of amazing games. It's not performing perfectly on the market. It's not selling out. It's not doing any of that. PSSR is having so many damn issues. They're even releasing patches now for people to turn it off. It's also overpriced. It doesn't come with a hard drive, right? Or a stand. So the best console ever? No, dude. A lot of people are going to tell you you're out of your mind. They're not going to tell you it's better than the PS3, and they're not going to tell you it's better than the PS4 Pro because the PS4 Pro was a big jump from PlayStation 4. You jumped from 1.8 teraflops to 4.2. You actually felt like you were diving big time into the 4K market. It was $399. Like that was one of the best PlayStation consoles like made at the right time with the right price, the right balance, and everything's just working. You also have boost mode to help you out. You had games around it and games launching around it too. They were like doing very well. The PS2 also was made very well and did a lot of really good things. The PS3 got better over time when they released other models and dropped the price. People like the PS4 that sold well, and the PS5 sells well too. But Sony's blowing a lot of this generation, so no, it's not the best console ever made, and it's not blowing anyone away unless you're just kind of like overgassing it because there's nothing really impressive. There's no games around it. Everything that's already been out, if it's on PC, you can play that better. And like I said, the PSSR issues are underwhelming. It didn't turn out to be 33.4 teraflops, which we knew that wasn't going to happen. So I'm always going to, balance people's ridiculous statements. And we're going to get into this. We're going to see what he has to say. Like I'm going to describe along the way. Let me know what y'all think. And PONYS, if you want to write in here, write on in.
And it's official. The PlayStation 5 Pro is simply incredible. Probably the best freaking console ever made. This is
The Nintendo Switch is the best console ever made. Just by the fact we're talking about just the way a console is made. It can be docked, it can be taken off on the go. I mean, the Switch 2 is going to be better than that. We're not talking about specs, we're talking about just the way a console is made. The PlayStation 5 looks like some alien dropped it off in a weird look. The Series X is a better console than that. It's just better made. There's better consoles made. So, yeah, dude, no.
by far the most impressive console I've ever owned. So I decided to pick up a couple more games tonight. I picked up Banishers Ghost of New Eden. It's on sale. That's my game of the year. Definitely pick
That's
it up.
okay.
It's half price right now, $29.99. Just got done playing like 40 minutes of that on the PlayStation 5 Pro, and I am absolutely impressed playing through this on the LG C2 OLED. It looks incredible. And then I picked up Dragon Age, Velgar.
Picked up what? Oh, God, that abomination, that trans abomination, that woke garbage. Oh, boy.
And I'm playing some of that. I put up a video on that, and I'm looking at the overall visual quality on a 4K display, and I'm like, wow, man, like you would think after listening to like Digital Foundry or somebody else that this game just looks absolutely trash on PlayStation 5 Pro, and I'm finding quite the opposite.
What?
I'm looking at it and I'm like, what the freak are these guys talking about? Why?
So that's what he has to say about this game rather than giving a real review on it. He's just looking at the graphics on the PS5 Pro. Dude, the art in this game is trash.
Why do they go out of their way, these PC bros? They're PC bros. They're going out of their way to completely trash the PlayStation 5 Pro just due to the fact that, like, I honestly, I'm not even joking. I really do think that these guys are trashing PlayStation 5 Pro because it literally has them shaking in their boots and the hair on the back of their neck standing up that a damn console can do upscaling damn near pretty close to what the NVIDIA GPUs can do. Like this piece.
Here we go again. Now, all of a sudden, after everything we just seen, all the mistakes of PSSR, where it's at right now, where it's at in beta, it being also a GPU beta AI upscalers with no NPU, no dedicated tensor cores, no matrix cores. It's all based off of that little GPU. This guy is now saying it's close to DLSS, and somehow a PC gamer that can make a PC that can shit on that console is somehow worried, and that's why we're trashing it. See, people like this are retarded to me. Like, I think something's wrong with their brain. Like, it just doesn't function correctly. Like, definitely with all the evidence that has been put out, all the failures. PSSR games, there's been over 10 easily. That's actually up to 12 now that had some problems. I can name you a few right now. Even some of their own. GT7, they had to actually give you an option to turn that off. God of War Ragnarok, Call of Duty Black Ops, Dragon's Dogma 2. By the way, Fortnite chose TSR over that. Alan Wake 2, Silent Hill 2. Both, by the way, have turned it off and gave you that option, which I find pretty funny. Avatar, Star Wars Outlaws, and Star Wars Jedi Survivor. And then, there's some other games too that I'm just not thinking at the moment. Oh yeah, Warhammer Dark Tide. Digital Foundry just recently did that. If we go over to their page right here where there were some issues, this guy's gonna try to knock Digital Foundry out of your mind. They're one of the most professional in the entire industry. What the fuck is wrong with him? That's going to be, that might actually be underneath Digital Foundry clips. So let's go ahead and roll that up. But I can't believe how dumb this guy is. After what he just said, yeah, Warhammer 40 Tide PSSR doesn't work out this time. It has issues on there. And then you can see a lot of other games too. Like I said, a lot of them that I'm naming for you guys, they have issues. Star Wars Outlaws, is that improved? Some of that is Ubisoft's fault. You can look at that Black Ops 6 situation right here. Gran Turismo 7 PSSR on and off. It's your choice because it was not working out well. And other videos where PSSR are not doing well too. Right over here we see PSSR and ray tracing look horrible on the PS5 Pro. PSSR issue the community has found. PSSR shimmering Allison issues, because that's the issue of it, by the way, just to let y'all know. And if you go down, you'll see some people are turning it off. Like, for example, if you go to PSSR issues, Alan Wake 2. Alan Wake 2 update targets PSSR issues, lets players turn off. They didn't say fix it because it is a problem. It's Sony's issue. People are starting to do that now. And then, like, with Epic Games, they're putting TSR over it. So, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, dude, shut up. Everything he's saying
is actually pretty dang impressive. I actually checked out a little bit more of the Star Wars Outlaws today. I was looking at that and I was flipping between, FSR3 and PSSR, and I'm looking at it and I'm like, wow, man, they've actually upgraded the PSSR in that patch as well, because it looks a lot cleaner. Obviously there's still some stuff in the distance, but you got to understand, like, you have to look at it from this point. You're buying a $700 console that has a GPU, a CPU, a 2 terabyte hard drive, Wi-Fi 7, and its very own power supply. It has every...
Oh my God, it has its own power supply, y'all. It has a GPU, a CPU, and a RAM. I didn't know something needed its own power supply.
Everything you basically need to set up and start playing your games. Now, granted, yes, obviously paying a little bit more for a disk drive and, some of the other stuff like a stand or whatever. The stand's not necessary. I've had mine sitting the way it sits without a dang stand the whole time I've owned it. So if you're buying digital games, then it's not necessarily going to be a problem. You're getting a very good deal for the PlayStation 5 Pro. What I've seen from this thing, my friends, and I've played multiple games. I've downloaded a bunch of games. I've bought a bunch of games for this. I've went through and
this is the game he wants to show off. Dragon Age Felguard, I mean.
Purchased a lot of these games that these guys are out there just going out of their way to trash. And it's funny because it's like they're all coming, like every single one of them, all of us, even...
We're sharing honest results and they can't handle it, and they're trying to defend a corporation that doesn't even know that it exists. They're just taking their money for something they can't basically tell a huge difference on. That's why Phil Spencer said you're not going to be able to notice much of a difference. So we're not doing a midget upgrade. That's not the problem this generation. Problem this generation is the political correctness garbage from the far left. Unfinished games, unfinished engines, rushed out, right? And people just not making real video games and getting caught up in all that nonsense, focusing on dumbass pronouns and all this other stuff instead of making real video games. That's why a lot of people are moving to PC gaming. That's why a lot of people want that Switch too. And that's why Microsoft teamed up with PC2 and put everything down. Now Sony's doing the same thing too, because it's just not going to work the way it used to. You can't live in that world anymore and only live on your platform locking games away. Nobody wants to do that anymore because they now realize the best thing, which they should have always realized, is the most profit and the biggest community and playing across all consoles at the same time. So it's just more sustainable, more profitable, and it benefits everybody. And they can play whatever settings they want. You see what I'm saying? Not people that live in this world only that are just low IQ idiots like this guy saying dumb stuff like that.
Me included, we
This whole
all
video.
have really beefy PCs. And when I look at what the PlayStation 5 Pro can do on my 4K screen, I'm like, you know what the funny thing is PS5 Pro actually has me using my GPU more on my 4K screen to compare it to be like, wait a minute, that's impressive. And so I do. I have a 7900 XTX AMD GPU, the top of the line, best you can get for AMD, and I'm sitting here and I'm playing some of these games on there, and I'm playing them on 4K, and I'm looking at these games, and then I'm cross-referencing that with the PlayStation.
So he's saying, I wish he would have done a comparison because that would have been nice to see, right? Because we've already seen this. By the way, he's talking about this card right here. Now let's look at the NVIDIA equivalent. Right? Guys, I've done comparisons between the Pro and the 4060, and it's not beating that. It's trying to match that. Now he's sitting here lying, trying to gas it up. He must be getting paid or something, saying that it can somehow look just as good as a 4080 Super. This guy's out of his damn mind. He's full of shit. Without showing us any evidence either. That's why I can't take people like him serious. Because after all the results I've already tested and seen, I know what it's capable of. It's 16.7 damn teraflops. Let's take a look at the 4080 Super. 4080 Super teraflops. Are you guys ready? That's 55.22 teraflops. 1632. It's almost 4 times. And it's not just the teraflops, but it's also the CUDA, the hertz that it goes at. Just what it's capable of doing. Like if we went to take a look at a lot more on it, what this thing is really capable of doing, right? 16 gigabytes GDDR6, 256 memory bus, bandwidth 763. Yeah, he's out of his mind. And if you include the AI upscaling with this, with DLSS, okay, so 2295 megahertz base clock. It can go up to 22. Okay, so boost clock 50, memory 23 gigabyte. Yeah, I don't know what he's smoking, but that's just not going to happen.
5 Pro version, and I'm like, that's pretty damn close. That's pretty damn close. Obviously, some of the settings are a little bit lower on some of these because you're getting like a performance mode. But like visuals already looked good this generation. That is the thing. That's like the big thing that a lot of people just don't seem to understand is in prior generations, like say, take Xbox One X. Take Xbox One X, PS4 Pro. We were getting low settings, a mixture between low and maybe medium settings and stuff like that with those consoles. And so when you look at some of the games that came out then, and I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna grab a couple of games that I have on the PC that I also have on like the Xbox One X,
yeah, let's see if he's gonna do that,
or the PS5, and I'm gonna do like a comparison of max settings versus like the low or medium settings that those games come with, because the newer games that are coming,
he's gonna do a better job in Digital Foundry. What we've already seen, y'all already. See, he now he's gonna do that because Digital Foundry's work is he's gonna do it. Like, I mean, dude, you're just an idiot. I'm sorry. Like,
are coming out with significantly higher settings due to the fact that both.
And by the way, I don't believe that he has that card until he actually proves that. Because as far as I'm concerned, everything that he's saying, if you really understood what that card was and what everything already been shown, all the tests done already, I don't understand how you could even be thinking and saying everything he said since the beginning of this video.
Series X and PlayStation 5 have more available VRAM for them to actually bring these higher settings for you. And is what we're getting is what's happening is, yes, those settings are pretty heavy. So the resolution is taking the biggest hit overall. And the fact that the PlayStation 5 Pro is actually able to produce an image that looks good on a 4K screen. Now, it doesn't look as good as PC. Now, I'm not even trying to say that that the PlayStation 5 Pro could even seriously compete with a high-end PC like this.
Now he's changing his mindset, but he just said it comes pretty close. And I looked at my 7900 XTX. What do you do? Well, you're talking in circles, man.
7900 XTX. It does good enough because most people aren't never going to see what a 7900 XTX can do. Like most.
That's why there's videos. You don't have to even own it. You can just go look at the videos and just turn it up to. Okay. So he's doing 4K. Yeah, you know what I mean. Just do that, right? If you want to do that, right? I don't see a need. It's
People are never going to see that. Like the PlayStation 5 Pro, in my opinion, delivers the highest quality that you can get on a console in terms of image quality right now due to PSSR. And when you utilize it with...
No, it has nothing to do with PSSR. It has everything to do with the specs that are in the console that are a little bit higher than the Series X. But the Series X still has a better CPU and RAM. Oh, but they did add a little bit stuff inside of the PlayStation 5 Pro. So honestly, I wouldn't even say it beats that now. But other than that, the only thing it has better than Series X is a GPU. But when FSR 4.0 releases, it's taking a hard 5th place. It's not better than XeSS. That's already 2.0 right now. Actually, just hit 2.0, so it's even better. It's not better than DSR. No way. FSR 4.0 is going to blow it away, and DLSS is already blowing it away. It's taken a 5th place. So when Series X gets FSR 4.0, and the only thing it has better than that is just that little GPU, you're not going to even be that much better than Series X. So what are we talking about here? How about you compare those two instead of comparing it with a card that blows it out of the water?
In games that don't have the that are just using dynamic resolution, or they have a dynamic frame rate or something like that, you can actually see that the PlayStation 5 Pro is able to tap into that power and kind of start pulling ahead, making that image quality look even better. Now, when the image is upscaled, when you've got like heavy upscaling or whatever, you're upscaling from, like some like 864p or something, as long as the resolution, that base resolution is dynamic, say it like scales down to like 864p, but it goes up to like, and there's no lock or no cap on that overall resolution.
You mean with it being CPU limited and still being stuck at 16 gigs of RAM, and a PC user can do 64 gigabytes of RAM, even 128, and have a CPU that goes to like 5.4, higher L1, L2, L3 caches, run 1216 cores, and have a 4080 Super up in there, and run native 4K without fake AI upscaling. You just turn it off because they have so much to do that, and that native is going to look so much better. And go into the NVIDIA settings and make things look so much better. Dude is going to absolutely dump on it with lower input lag and lower MS. What are we talking about here? This is just talking about facts here. It has nothing to do with whether you own anything or not. Either you understand the way things work, or you just spewed out ignorant stupidity. Either you say you have these type of things, and then when I start seeing the way that you're talking, I don't feel like you're telling me anything knowledgeable. I feel like you're just being ignorant, and you're just trying to kiss Sony's ass. That's the problem that I have with specifically the PlayStation base over every other base. And I've been into the ignorant communities of other communities. I know the PC community can be ignorant, but not stupid. They could just be, you know what I mean, kind of haughty a bit about their specs. And, they could be wrong in that sort of sense. I own everything too. All right, my Series X controller is right here. My PlayStation controller is right here. You know what I mean? Like, you're talking to somebody who owns literally everything. So let me go get my Switch real quick. Actually, I'm not going to take that off the dock because I don't feel like turning it off. What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my Pro controller. Where's that at? Yeah. Oh, man, it has dust on it because I haven't turned it on in a while. My Nintendo Switch Pro controller. You know what I mean? I've been gaming since 1994. I've been all the way since NES all the way here. Now, you're talking to somebody who's beaten thousands of video games. I'm here for the gaming. But what I don't like is people spewing out nonsense and talking that they got this and that, but yet when I hear you talk, it's like I can't tell that you have that because you wouldn't be saying that. Like, why are you over defending this console? It is not an amazing console. It has some ways to go to get optimized to say, okay, this is a good console now, but I wouldn't say amazing, no. I would say that so far it's letting a lot of people down and that it's rushed out. It's not a bad console, obviously, but there's no games that launched around it. It's just sitting there making games look a little bit better. I'm just being reasonable because I'm just not impressed by it, and I kind of feel like it was unnecessary. And I think the problems in the PlayStation world is Sony's bullshit with the DEI slop, just stuff that they're doing, blowing half the generation, canceled Naughty Dog project, now already ruined their next game, Concord, fair game, all gas rush, canceled titles 2 to 3 years away, having no exclusives for almost 2 years now besides Spider-Man, and that's about it. And everything else is just once again massive third-party vampiring and locking your games to your machine so nobody else can play them. And then thinking you're all this and that because you're beating Microsoft. Yep, but Nintendo's been dumping on you, and they're about to dump on you again with the Switch too. So honestly, I'm not impressed by PlayStation. I actually find it to be very disappointing. So yeah, if you can't take that, I don't know what else to say.
That goes higher. Once it gets past 1080p, the image quality cleans up even more, even no matter what upscaler you're using. So if your game is using FSR, if your game is using TAA, if your game is using ITGI from Insomniac, or it's using PSSR, anything above 1080p at that base resolution, that's going to crank it up even higher. And a lot.
Oh my God, this hasn't been on the market for 6, 7 years on PC and consoles, even with FSR. It's doing a miracle. It's doing something new. It's still a customized FSR with AMD technology. See what I mean? Gassing up stuff that ain't even all that.
A lot of these games are utilizing things like FSR. They are using TAA.
All the work's been done.
Using, like Naughty Dog's game or gosh dang, Insomniac's games are using the ITGI in their games to upscale past that. So there's a lot of games that I've seen, and I've specifically went out of my way to test certain specific games that I knew in my mind were just not like. From my point of view or my experience with console gaming, I was like, yeah, no, I don't want to play that on a 4K screen. I've pretty much relegated my Xbox Series X and my PS5 base to 1440p monitors, but PlayStation 5 Pro with PSSR actually delivers an experience that I feel better, like it looks good on a 4K screen. It's not perfect, it's not pixel perfect, and it's not super sharp and crispy, but it looks good. It looks better than what you're getting just out a normal PS5 or an Xbox Series X.
I didn't know it was supposed to not look better. It's a GPU upgrade with a beta AI upscaler that people have been doing on PC for 6 years, probably longer than that. If I go upgrade a laptop right now that I have, or I'll go upgrade the GPU inside of my computer, oh my God, it looks better. Let me make a video. Yeah, obviously, it's supposed to look better.
And that's good.
For the games.
This system is definitely built for those of you that absolutely care about your visual quality. Like if you care about visual quality, you probably want this system. This is the console for you. You definitely want it because you're gonna.
Yeah, enough of this guy, but there we have it again. I just had to show y'all stuff because he's just gonna go the rest of the video talking about the beta AI nonsense. And I say that it's still in beta and it has issues. It's not perfect. But I'm gonna link this video if y'all want to come in here and watch the rest of it. But yeah, just had to roast another pony because I just get tired of their nonsense and their blah blah blah, talking about nonsense and saying dumb stuff that doesn't make any sense. And there we have it. I got a lot of other videos to make too, and we're far from being done with this because we have a lot of other games to come out, and we're going to be comparing stuff. If stuff is good, it's good. You know what I mean? If it's doing well, I give credit due. But we're going to find a lot of issues with Sony's arrogance and the pony fan base. As I said before, I'm not against people that are enjoying this and have no problem with them because they're not running around brainwashing people and making up a bunch of nonsense and saying stupid stuff. Definitely like it's being on par with DLSS or that you can't tell that much of a difference. It's like, dude, if I put a 4080 Super in there with the right CPU and the right RAM and motherboard and all that to get that to run like it's supposed to, what you mean you can't tell the difference? Oh, there's going to be a clear difference. So get out of here with that trash. All right, y'all. Peace out. Have a good day.